Brought to you by Evangelist Sharon. No tolerance for the corrupt leaders and prophets. Chapter 3, 5 to 12, 5. Thus saith the Lord concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry peace, and he that putteth not into their mouths, they even prepare war against him. The prophets mislead the people. 2 Peter 2:1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. Matthew 15:14. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. 6. Therefore night shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision, and it shall be dark unto you, that ye shall not divine, and the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them. The darkness serves as a symbol of judgment and punishment for those who have strayed from God's path. Micah warns that darkness will come upon them, signifying that their deceptive practices will eventually lead to their downfall. Zechariah 13:3, and it shall come to pass that when any shall yet prophesy, then his father and his mother that begat him shall say unto him, Thou shalt not live, for thou speakest lies in the name of the Lord. And his father and his mother that begat him shall thrust him through when he prophesieth. 7. Then shall the seers be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. Yea, they shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer of God. Shame and disgrace that will befall the prophets and seers. Their deceptive practices will be exposed, and they will no longer have the support and admiration of the people. Instead of being seen as holy servants of God, they will become objects of scorn and
I will
reproach.
continue with this Sunday school lesson. 8. But truly I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord, and of judgment, and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin, destruction that will come upon Jerusalem, due to the actions of its leaders. The rulers and judges of Jerusalem are condemned for perverting justice and accepting bribes, leading to the oppression and suffering of the innocent. The nation would be destroyed. Fulfilled by Nebuchadnezzar. 9. Hear this, I pray you, ye heads of the house of Jacob, and princes of the house of Israel that abhor judgment and pervert all equity. Micah addressing the rulers of Israel, calling them to listen to the word of the Lord. Despite holding positions of power and authority, they are severely criticized for their greed, dishonesty, and injustice. 10. They build up Zion with blood, and Jerusalem with iniquity. The holy city of Jerusalem, meant to be a place of peace and worship, has been tainted by the sin and corruption of its leaders. They are not keeping God's laws the way they were written, but are changing them to please themselves. Deuteronomy 27:25. Cursed be he that taketh reward to slay an innocent person, and all the people shall say, Amen. 11. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord, and say, Is not the Lord among us? None evil can come upon us. They twist and pervert justice, accepting bribes to render unjust decisions. This distortion of justice not only goes against God's commandments, but also leads to the oppression and suffering of the vulnerable in society. 12. Therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. Micah foretells the destruction of Jerusalem due to the sins of its rulers. Despite their outward displays of religiosity, the leaders had failed to uphold the true values of justice, mercy, and humility before God. Leaders of Israel are harshly judged because they have abandoned the path of righteousness and engaged in oppression and exploitation. Second, the passage reminds us of the need for spiritual discernment. The leaders have allowed their hearts to grow deceitful. leading them astray from God's righteous standards. Third, we observe the consequences of unchecked corruption. When leaders abuse their power and positions for selfish gains, it corrupts the entire system and brings ruin to the nations that Micah is directly addressing the leaders and elites of the nation. These individuals hold positions of power and authority. The phrase that abhor judgment suggests that these leaders despise justice and fairness. Their actions demonstrate a clear rejection of the principles that should guide them. Instead, they delight in oppression and exploitation. We must remember that God is perfectly good and righteous, so any additional desires from his people could only stem from their own selfishness and rebellion. In response, God presents a list of charges against the people, highlighting their involvement in idolatry, bloodshed, plundering, and false worship. And the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord, and say, Is not the Lord among us? None evil can come upon us. Here, the indictment reaches its climax, as the leaders are portrayed as engaging in various forms of corruption. The heads or rulers are said to judge for a reward, suggesting that they pervert justice and make decisions based on what benefits them, not what is right.
May God bless you. I'm Evangelist Sharon Riley. I hope you enjoyed that Sunday school lesson. I want you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. May God bless.